Welcome, guys, to the most essential video you will watch during your first week of Etheria Restart. Kind of a hubristic claim, sure, but I stand by it. Because in this video, I will explain the best way to level up your account and the best way to use energy. This is a key thing. So much of the gameplay in Etheria Restart, and thus your progression, is gated behind your account level. You can see right now at the start of day 2, I'm at level 17. By the end of this day, I will be a lot higher, deep into the 20s, and that is because I'm going to continue following the tips I'm going to outline in this video so you make no mistake. You get that account level up to as high a number by the end of each day as efficiently as possible, and you make the best and most optimal use of your energy, or what I will henceforth refer to as stability, in this video. In Etheria Restart, they call stamina or energy stability, so that's what we're going to do. So no more intro necessary. How do you increase your account level? What does this have to do with the use of your stability? Well, frankly, there are only 2 ways to increase your account level in Etheria Restart. To begin with, the way you will increase your account level is by earning something called Hyperlink XP, and there's only 2 ways to do that. The expenditure of your stability using your energy in the game. It's a direct 1-to-1. If you use 10 stability, you get 10 points of Hyperlink XP. You can see right now to make it to level 18, I need 360 Hyperlink XP. Right now I'm at 175, and using stability is the only main way to do it. The other way is through your daily quests. So if you go to the menu over here, like I just did, you go to the quests button, you'll see with your daily quests, as you go through and you claim stuff, as you increase your daily mission point level, you're going to find out that you're unlocking these claims down here. So right now I can do my next claim and I'm going to get 50 Hyperlink XP. And once you know it, if we go over here, that brings me to 225. It directly boosts my account level progression. If we go back to quests, there are multiple claims of this a day. There's another 50. There's another 50, and once I do one more quest, I get one more mission point, I'll be able to get the big prize, which is 100. So this is a big level up boost available to you through the daily quests each day. However, there are only 12 mission points to accumulate. You can only have so many claims in your daily quest. Thus, that amount of progression through that source of Hyperlink XP is capped. There's a daily cap. The better way and the most important way and the biggest thing I can encourage you to do in this video when it comes to increasing your account level is to use your stability, use as much as possible within reason, we'll get into that, and to use it efficiently. So let's start out with how much stability you get in a day. Well, to begin with, you have natural stability regeneration. Sorry if that sounds really technical and weird, but essentially you get 1 point of stability back every 5 minutes, so long as you are under the maximum cap of stability on your account. This max cap increases as your account level increases. You start at 101 for the max cap when you start the game at level 1, and then it will continue to increase 1-to-1 with your account level. So I'm at account level 17, thus my max cap is 17. I cannot tell you when this caps. I didn't make it that far in the open beta, but I think we can guess 150, 160, something like that. However, it is very important you do your best to stay under that max cap, because when you're at the max cap, the 1 point of stability regeneration per 5 minutes stops. So as long as you're under the cap, you're going to get it. This equates to 12 extra stability per hour. Doesn't sound like much. However, over a 24-hour day, that is 288 additional stability. That is huge because that will directly convert to 288 Hyperlink XP. It also, of course, is the resource you're going to use to farm content, progress, make your account better, make your characters better, all those beautiful things. But that's the first thing. Keep your stability under the cap. On top of that, there are only 4 other ways to gain stability in this game, so you have to do it in the right way, in the smart way. The first way is every time your level goes up, the game awards you with stability equal to the amount of what your new max cap is. So let's say right now I moved on to level 18. Let's say I was sitting here still at 100 stability. They would gift me 118 stability immediately. So that would bring me to 218. That puts me over the cap. I got to make sure to go use that and farm it immediately. And farm it efficiently, but more on that in one moment. The next way is from your union. As people in your union start checking in, you'll get different stability payoffs. If it's 0 or more, it's 50, then it's 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So if you have 25 or more people check in one day, the next day they're going to gift you 100 additional stability. After that, the only thing left to do is to use your Hydra crystals for stability, more on that in a second, or cash in your static stability. So when I say static, I mean it's fixed stability. They come in units of 100 stability at a time, and it comes as this resource, Mental Stabilized. So you will feel tempted to use these nearly immediately after you get them because you just want to keep playing, you want to keep farming. I would like to heavily encourage you not to do that. The best time to use these is when they have a rate up going. This is something they did a lot during the open beta, during the final test, and I am certain they will bring back. What am I talking about? Well, it is them adding a 2x drop rate boost for a limited time to certain farmable content in the game. A great example of this is Investigation. Right now in Investigation, you go in and you can farm your chance at Shadow Prince. You can get your different kind of investigation records for Anima XP, and depending on your level, there's a range, but a fairly fixed amount of drops you'll get per run. If the 2x rate up is live, you'll literally get double, and that is double on everything, including the slightly rare and the insanely important Shadow Prince. So waiting to unload that static stability, these mental stabilizers over here at a moment where you can do it most efficiently because there's a 2x in something like the Investigation, or another great example is double drops in the Threshold. Think about how much stronger it is to farm Doki Doki when there's 2x drops. That's what you want to use your mental stabilizer for, and they even did 2x in the GP Outpost. So this really is something you're going to want to use your mental stabilizer for. So what is the fourth and final way to get more stability? It's using your Hydra crystals, and my God, should you do it. So I haven't cashed in any of my redemptions yet today. What are redemptions? Well, if we go over here and we click on the premium currency, we click on the Hydra crystals, you can see it says, do you want to spend 60 Hydra crystals to exchange for 100 stability? Today's exchange is 0 out of 10. Every day, you can do 10 redemptions of Hydra crystals for stability, and especially at the start of the game, I could not encourage you to do this more. The first redemption costs 60 Hydra crystals for 100 stability, and all subsequent redemptions will be 100 Hydra crystals for 100 stability. So if you want to do your full 10 redemptions, which you should do as you go every day, that will cost you 960 Hydra crystals. However, I think it's kind of obvious, don't do this all at once. Do it at the end of the day when you keep running out of stability and do them one by one. You don't want to push yourself over the stability cap, because if you were over the cap, you'd miss out on that natural regeneration of 12 stability per hour, 288 stability per day. So there you go. I know some people are going to want to use their Hydra crystals for summons, especially at the beginning. Sure, you can, but the longer you stay gated because of your account level and you sit there stagnating, the more time you spend falling behind other players who are using their stability efficiently, using their Hydra crystals efficiently, and progressing through the game in a very fast and very effective way. So now that we know about account level, we know about Hyperlink XP, we know about its relationship to stability, we know how much stability we can get each day. What is left? Well, how do you spend that stability? You got to be spending all of it each day, especially at the beginning to get your account level higher. But there are 2 clear ways to spend it, and then there's a bunch of wrong ways to spend it. Eventually, your account will be good. You've unlocked harder content. You'll be able to farm very high-level shells, very high-level gear, aka modules, and the whole thing's going to make sense. But for now, and that's why I said this is the most important video you'll see in your first week, it is a big mistake to overfarm anything, absolutely anything, because you're stuck farming such low quality stuff. So what do I mean? Well, here's a good example, Grim Pursuit. This is where you have the different bosses and you farm your shells. If you unloaded 1,000 stability into Hard Jock or Hard Shadowrunner or Hard Opate or Apate, does anyone know how to say that boss's name? I have no freaking idea. But if you were to do that, you put 1,000 into any one of these, sure, that would directly equal 1,000 Hyperlink XP. However, what you were farming to get that XP is a bunch of shells you will never use again after the first couple days in the game. Full stop. These lower rarity shells will become completely and utterly unusable. You'll recycle them for almost next to no currency. It is a huge waste. So what should you be farming? What should you be using your stability on? Well, there are frankly 2 things, and that is it. The first one is investigation. Yes, when you're farming these lower investigation stages compared to the very high ones like investigation 25, it's less efficient. However, the quality of the drop you're getting will still have permanent value on your account. You're getting less anima XP, but that XP is still useful in a permanent way for your characters. This is a great way to progress, especially because it would be inefficient to try to improve your account by farming up better gear. Because again, just like the shells, you'd be farming up gear that you would never use again. Getting this lower rarity gear, getting these lower rarity modules will be only helpful for a very brief period of time because these rarities, the purple and the gold, are completely and utterly unusable. The main stat boosts and the secondary stat boosts are nothing compared to what you'll eventually get in the higher levels, especially Hell and then of course Inferno. These higher rarity stuffs, the pink quality gear and of course the red quality gear, it is infinitely better. You can't overstate how much stronger it is and how entirely 100% useless all this early stuff is. So you want to farm the bare minimum of modules, the bare minimum of shells, and when you are in a pinch, just unload your stability in investigation. Full stop. What is the other and final way to use your stability? Well, it is to progress through the hyperlink quest. So if we go over here to our menu and we click on hyperlink charter, these are 4 different quest lines. Eventually, it's 5 different quest lines once we unlock the arena trials. And these are things you basically have to do. Technically, you don't have to do it, but my God, the rewards are so good. How could you not? And these do require you to do lower level things. So when you're in a pinch and maybe you don't want to farm any more investigation, you can go in and farm these missions. I will point out, a lot of these you can still get to later on, but there is a trade-off because you might need those resources now. Here's a good example on the Leanne hyperlink quest line. You can see the only one I have left is the Threshold Challenge. Deploy Leanne to defeat Terramaton normal 3 or higher 10 times. Obviously, I can do that. I'm farming hard 3 right now, but even still, I don't want to overfarm at a level I'm not interested in completing because the drop sucks so much. But at one point, if I was in a pinch and I was like, wow, I could really use 100 Hydro Crystals or a summon or some coins, this is a good opportunity to do it. Make note, though, it does say normal 3 or higher, so eventually you could be farming Hell or Inferno and it would still count the same. But if you wait that long, there is the opportunity cost you're paying of not progressing through the quest line. I mean, you can see right here, there's an SSR Lattice. This is a legendary skill up. Who wouldn't want that? Yes, farming Terramaton at a lower level is inefficient, but arguably waiting too long to finish up and get that perfect Lattice is even more inefficient. So that's something to think about. Another clear example here is in the Shell quest line. So if we go to Shell Trainer 2, they actually require you to farm some of those lower level Shell bosses in Grim Pursuit. You can see here, farm a Pate or a Pate, farm a Shadowrunner. You're going to have to do it, so you might as well do it early on when you can make use of your stability and keep progressing. The last thing I want to leave you with is a final piece of encouragement to prioritize pushing up your account level. So many things are gated behind account level. I wrote out a couple right here. You can see after you beat chapter 4, you're going to realize you're locked out of chapter 5 until you're account level 10. So you might go to investigation, progress through different investigation stages, only to realize you're stuck at stage 7 until you've beaten chapter 6. Then finally you reach account level 10, you can go in and do chapter 5, but after you beat that, you're going to realize you're locked out of chapter 6 until you're account level 13. So you go back to investigation, you grind it out to stage 10, but then you realize you're stuck there until you've beaten chapter 7. So now you do what I'm doing right now, grind up to account level 20. You'll finally unlock chapter 7. Along your way there, you'll grind out investigation up to 13 and get stuck once again. Then you'll beat chapter 7. It keeps going and going and going. You're going to get locked out until you get that account level higher. So I'm telling you, you will have more fun grinding it out early, progressing to the proper end of the early game, beginning of the mid game in Etheria Restart. That is when it gets really fun and you can actually farm good shells, good modules, get amazing builds on your anima, and have a blast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Fastidious. A big thank you to my editor, Mitchell, for editing this video. And finally, remember, Etheria Restart just came out yesterday, June 5th. At the time of filming, it is June 6th. The game is young. The game is fun. If you want to get in on that, be sure to download the game now using my link in the description and the top pinned comment. Get off to the best start possible. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more of that good Etheria Restart content. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.